Hello and welcome to Gunpla Reviews, where it is myself versus my show. Some 150 model kits and a queue of reviews to do. So we're trying something different today. We're doing the filming with voiceover. Today's challenger is the Gundam Astray Red Frame flight unit from the high-grade Gundam SIEG Astray product line. From the year of our Bandai Lords, 2013. Whoosh! Out of the way you go! So, to begin, we have our high-grade model. He stands just fine on his own, but he will lay here, because first, let's discuss the manual. First, we have the manual, a nice 5-page color spread, and, as is tradition, black and white on the other side. This is probably the most important page here, the mechanism, because what you don't see attached to the kit now is the flight unit. Here we're looking at all the runners, but they all come from the same year, barring some of the beam effect parts. But let's go ahead and stop at the part that I really appreciate, polycaps. Here we have PC001, one of the largest high-grade polycap runners. I've always been a fan of just non-standard polycap colors. White, blue, red. We also, unfortunately, have Sticker Hell, a sheet of stickers of which the majority go on the sword and the scabbard itself, as well as a few extra low gear specific marking stickers that go on the shoulder and shield. The next step here, as we make an attempt to actually structure things at the new regular series Zappa versus The Shelf, we're going to talk about articulation. Starting at the head, you'll get a little resistance at the chin with the shoulder, but you will eventually get that full Exorcist head spin. Now here at the shoulders, they only appear to go so high, but with a little effort, and once you realize how that mechanism works, the shoulders will go up much, much higher than you feel. It gets a nice full shoulder rotation, and if you look here right at the shoulder joint, you also get a little back and forth action, so you can definitely cross those arms for holding the katana. The arm is very much double jointed. If you take a look right in there, you'll see that it attaches to the polycap in the shoulder, and then the other part of that joint goes into the shoulder, so you get a whole lot of that range of motion, but it doesn't feel like you're getting it, but it's certainly there. And we take a look at the arms here, you get a full bicep twist, unobstructed. Over here you see the hands are on your regular polycap, so they also have an unobstructed twist and a lot of range of motion. Now here's something that I've always found very curious about the Red Frame. Here in the elbow, you see that it has not just one bend there at the elbow, gets nice 90 degrees, but that it also has a second joint inside the elbow that gives it a full flexed 180 degree posability. I just find it so strange how that's set inside the forearm and not part of the elbow joint itself. And with the arms physically out of the way, you get a full waist joint twist up until the point where the side skirts kind of start blocking the motion a bit. You get some nice rocking back and forth at the waist joint as well. Good ab crunch, and a little bit of side to side as well. The side skirts really don't move whatsoever. They're set in there on a polycap peg and ball joint, but it's a lot more trouble than it's worth once you start getting down to the accessories. Once they're set in place, they really shouldn't be going anywhere. There's a nice satisfying click once they're in place, but if they are moving around, it's not likely that they're going to fall out. Here at the legs, you get an absolutely perfect split. Perfect! You also get a nice rock back and forth of the pelvis. A lot of kits are designed this way, but don't have the freedom of motion to show it off. It's got that very popular kind of joint that attaches the two legs before you plug it into the waist unit itself. Here at the thigh, you get a most curious range of motion because you can not only turn it forward, but turn it backward almost completely. Thanks to the lack of front or back skirts, you get not just a full front kick, but a devious back kick as well. He can kick himself in the dang head! As well as a very nice 110-degree bend at the knee. And then a nice twist right around the foot also as well. Good old exorcist feet. You do get one more piece of articulation back here in the backpack. Once upon a time, I had the original basic red frame, and I had no idea what the purpose of this movable backpack was, because I didn't know anything about the expansion kits, or how to really put stuff together. I also didn't know that the flight unit was a model kit on its own either. Once we get these beam sabers out of the way, which in hindsight was a very bad idea, it's the perfect time to talk about the flight unit itself. It's got a few little points of articulation. You can flap the wings a bit, as well as give them a good range of twists. Not that there's much point to it. These also leg-like thruster packs are set on a ball joint. They move, but the top ones do not. For attaching the flight unit itself, we're going to take this tab right here, plug that into the lower part of the backpack itself, and almost simultaneously the similar peg will go right into the backpack and it just squishes right in there, nice and firm, doesn't move at all, perfectly secure connection. Now that we've gone and reattached the beam sabers and put the backpack right in place, we can move forward. You'll find that you really won't be using these beam sabers too much, so the handles can sit there or be tossed into the void because there's far better weapons to be using. And the side skirt here is really going to be a long-term problem, especially with the scabbard. Speaking of, we have here the scabbard. It is incredibly sticker heavy, much more stickers than anywhere else on the kit. There's one there at the top. You've got one solid one here at the bottom, as well as the two bands there in the middle. Now the scabbard here attaches upside down, not what you would think, to the gray clip here at the waist, but this is going to become a nice long-term problem. At one point it sat perfectly and didn't move, but now it wants to fall off constantly. Perhaps I've damaged the part, but it doesn't appear to be stressed in any way. Of course, what is the scabbard without the Gundam Astray itself? Unfortunately, it is just as sticker heavy as the scabbard. You have two shiny silver ones right along the blade here, which don't even cover the edges. You have one right here at the pommel of the sword, as well as along the handle. For a moment I really forget what the pommel is called. I recall this originally being cast on a white runner the first time I had the original kit, but now it's on a gray runner, which may or may not make a difference to you. Right here, the sword slides so smoothly into that scabbard, smooth as butter, and about to cut people open just as easy. And as predicted, the side skirt is already causing itself problems. This part we're going to leave in, despite that we're going to battle with this attachment piece. After 10,000 years frustration keeping this scabbard piece attached, we will finally make progress. As you can see here, he has one open, one closed hand, and comes with the matching pair for the opposite side. For the backpack beam sabers, you get 2 of these flat effect parts, but you will likely just add those to your pool of beam saber effects. And the other 2 are attached to another piece we'll see soon. He also comes with the standard shield, nice 3 pieces, has a 2-point attachment that goes onto the forearm like so, although one of these you'll only really use more so than the other. I've never gotten much function out of attaching it to the other point. You can carry it on the front or the back, I suppose if you hold it across the chest. It doesn't seem too practical, but I appreciate having the option to do it one way or the other. Also comes with 1 standard beam rifle. While a lot of other kits, especially high-grade Universal Century, have the swinging front handle, I've never seen one that goes at a forward angle in order to hold it. It seems like it would make it really hard to grip, but thanks to the way that the arms move, it's perfectly fine. And as we take the shield off here, we're going to show off one other piece. Part of the flight unit backpack is an extra plug-in where you slot one side in. And of course I've got this backwards on the kit right now. You plug the handle of the beam rifle into it, and you'll be able to keep all of your armaments at hand without actually holding them. On the sides of the flight unit here you'll see 2 little plugs, of which you can put them onto either side so long as you are correctly attaching. Oh, what a fool I am. And so long as you correctly attach the piece to the puzzle. Here we go. Luckily, carrying it back here doesn't create any sort of imbalance. If anything, it gives you that extra little bit of balance because it may lean back right onto the beam rifle tip. And here, just as we begin to talk about my favorite accessory, I realize that this piece does not attach to the right hand. It will only go on the left, but we're zooming in to show you how it attaches, for it is a simple handle that slots into the hand. When you try to fit it in there, you'll see clearly that it just doesn't quite go in right. But here we have the Buku head. It has 0 articulation, and that's where the other 2 beam effect parts go. As you can see here, it really doesn't fit in with the right hand. So we're going to have to pop this left hand off, swap it around, and plug your boy in correctly. And look, we put the sword away, and it didn't pop off the entire side skirt or the attachment. Now once we assemble the hand here, we'll be able to slide this little handle right in place absolutely easily. Followed by plugging it right into the back of the head. There's a nice little satisfying click in there, and once you pop that into the hand, you're ready to go. And with that, he is fully armed and equipped, with only the extra shield piece and the hands being the remaining parts of his arsenal that aren't already on his person. It's always nice and satisfying when you can have a nice spread of weapons and carry them all at once. Here, in conclusion, ZEON gives this a Fundit. I would 100% recommend buying the flight unit version over the standard version whenever you're given the option to do so, be it a sale or out in the wild. When you sit and compare the 2 kits, the flight unit has everything that the standard release comes with the addition of more. You're not missing out on anything, you're just getting more for your dollar. So thank you for watching. We will see you in the next round of Zappa versus the Shelf. And as always, SIEG ZEON.